Hello boys and girls, and welcome to my preview and predicted lineup for the final game of the Premier League season against Watford. Now, it seems a little strange that we're nearly in August now and we're talking about the final game of the season. We should be at this point of the year be talking about pre-season matches, whereabouts within the world we're going on tour, possible signings and players that may be leaving, but obviously COVID, it's made things very strange, and it's the final game. It's going to be the first time in 25 years that Arsenal have finished outside of the top 6. We cannot finish outside the top 10, but we can get up to 8th place, and not that it makes much difference apart from maybe a little bit of extra money, given on where you finish in the Premier League. But overall, it's been an absolutely horrific season in the Premier League, and we know that. You know, there's no masking it, there's no getting around it. We can banter and joke as much as we want with other teams that, you know, might lose games here and there. But when we look at our own performances, it's just not been good enough. We've had 3 managers during the course of the season. Started with Unai Emery, then we had Freddie Ljungberg, which was, you know, temporary charge until Mikel Arteta took over. So it's been, you know, a very, very rough ride. It's one of the worst seasons that I can remember in a very long time, and I'm old enough to remember what some of the times were like, you know, in the earlier part of the 80s, before George Graham come along and, you know, started that era of trophies. Before ultimately Arsene Wenger came along and, you know, gave us some fantastic times. But yeah, it's one of those. We just want to get it out of the way. We got the FA Cup final next week. You know, it's a chance to try and, you know, put a bit of a silver lining on what I keep saying has been a horrific season. If we can win a trophy, given everything that's gone on, it'd be unbelievable when you think about it. But that's a big game against Chelsea, and that's for another day. It's all about this one against Watford. And this game means something to Watford. Big time. Because they're fighting for their life in the Premier League. And they lose this game, they're going to be relegated. Now, they can actually lose the game and still stay in the Premier League. There's so many permutations to this, but it's a tough one for me on a personal level because I'm friends with Troy Deeney, as people know. You know, he's not just someone that I associate with on social media and I've got to know in football. He's a friend. You know, this is a guy that I talk to regular. You know, he's met my kids and my family and everything, and likewise with him. And it's tough, man, because on a friendship level, you know what I mean? It's one of those. I have spoken to him this week. I'm not gonna get into what we spoke about in certain aspects, but he understands fully that this is football. My objective is Arsenal win the game. I don't care who we're playing. Arsenal have to win the game. It's as simple as that. If it ends up relegating Watford, then so be it. But it still doesn't mean that I'm not going to feel bad and that I'm still not going to feel, you know, sympathy towards a friend. And, you know, I know the rest of the Arsenal fan base is probably going to be a lot different to me because they won't forget about the Kahunas comment. Oh no, that's just going to come back and bite him big time, ain't it? But listen, this is about away from football. Troy Deeney as a person, away from the football pitch and what you might think is one of the nicest guys you will ever meet. Trust me, he's the most realist guy. And yeah, when it comes to what's on the football pitch, Arsenal need to do what they have to do, which is win the game. And I want nothing but a win. In an ideal world for me, Arsenal will win 1-0 and Aston Villa will lose by 2 or 3-0, whatever the scoreline has to be for Watford to stay in the Premier League. Yeah, and on the flip side as well, that's another thing. With a lot of my friends being Luton fans, the big rivalry there. I've had a messaging me this week as well saying, hey, make sure you boys relegate them lot. I won't say what they call them or anything else, but yeah, they've got a big rivalry there as well. So I'm just sitting there like, oh no, man, what on earth? But listen, like I said, it's football. These things happen. You know, he's a big enough boy and he'll be able to handle whatever the situation is. And, you know, he's worked his nuts off, kahunas off, I suppose you could say, at Watford to try and help him as best he could. He's played through an injury for so long as well. Even before he come back from his last injury, he put his body on the line to play games. And yeah, it's tough, man. But Arsenal need to get the win. Not that it means anything to us. It's just the fact that I can never, ever, ever, ever have Arsenal losing a game. You know, we could be playing a friendly against Boreham Wood. We have to win. It's as simple as that. It's going to be an interesting game. The lineup is going to be very interesting as well because Mikel Arteta has said that he, you know, has to pick a strong lineup for the integrity of the game and to make it fair with everyone else. But on the flip side, he will have the FA Cup final in mind. You imagine playing Aubameyang and he picks up an injury and he has to miss the cup final. Are you mad? Nah. We've already lost Mustafi for the cup final. So no more. Can't believe I'd ever see the day that I'm gutted Mustafi's missing a big game. But that's how good he's been lately with some of his performances. So starting lineup is going to be very, very interesting. And this is what I'm going to go with my predicted lineup. Starting off in goal, Matt Macey. And yeah, Matt Macey's going in goal. I know Leno's kind of back in training. He started doing ball work and everything, but I don't know how close he is. And if we have only Emi Martinez, do not take that risk in any way, shape or form, please. No, 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 no. I'm going to go with Matt Macey. I'm going to stick with the back three. And this is where it's going to be quite interesting. Like, what's he going to do? First of all, I'm going to go with Rob Holding because I think he needs a game, based on the fact that he's probably the one in contention for the final. So, pretty straightforward. I will go with Rob Holding. I'm not going to have David Luiz in there. You're looking at our other centre-back options. You know, Mustafi's out. Mari's out. I'm going to go with Sokratis. I'm going to put him in there, actually. I think that, you know, it's the perfect time to play him. He hasn't featured at all since, you know, the start of lockdown, but he's an experienced player playing. The last of that three, I'm going to go with Kolasinac and take Tierney out of the side, rest him up completely, and it's simple as that. I'm going to go with Kolasinac. In the wing-back positions on the right-hand side, first of all, I'm going to go with Cedric. Pretty straightforward decision for me, given the fact that he's cup-tied for the final. I didn't actually realise that he was cup-tied for the semi-final. Everything's gone confusing in my mind with it being the season the way that it is and starting and stopping and everything else. I completely forgot that he played in the FA Cup for Southampton. So he's cup-tied, so he can play in this game. In the left wing-back position, I'm going to go with Saka. And didn't play or start against Manchester City, shall I say. Played against Aston Villa. But I think that he's going to need this game to try and get himself in contention for that final. Because at the moment, Ainsley Maitland-Niles has probably got that spot at the present moment, to be honest, after his performance against Man City. So I'm going to go with Saka. Now, in the midfield, first of all, I'm going to go with Lucas Torreira. Take him into the side ahead of Granit Xhaka. Straightforward. Not even debating this one. Alongside him, I'm going to go with Joe Willock. And yeah, straightforward decision for me. I'm going to put him in there based on the fact that Dani Ceballos is needed for the final. And I'm not going to risk him. On the right of the attacking three, first of all, I'm going to go with Reiss Nelson. This is based on the hope that he's returning from his injury. I don't see any issues with this whatsoever, and I'm going to go with Reiss Nelson. In the middle of that three, I'm going to go with Eddie Nketiah, and no Alexandre Lacazette, absolutely no chance in any way, shape or form. So, yeah, pretty straightforward decision. Now, on the left-hand side of that three, my word, this is where it gets difficult, because who on earth do we have in the squad that can play within that three of the attacking sense? Maybe my mind's gone blank, but I can't actually think who could possibly go there, because the likes of, you know, Martinelli injured. I'm not playing Aubameyang, Lacazette, Pepe, no Tierney. You've got Kolasinac going in the defensive area, Saka going in as the left wing back. I don't actually know who we've got left that we could possibly play there. You know what I'm going to do, and this is a first, because I literally do these teams off the cuff and what I think at the time, is that I need to look at the Arsenal squad and actually who's available. Maybe there's a name that I'm just not thinking off the top of my head that we could be, you know, putting within the side. Now, we're looking at the team here, and you're looking at the midfielders. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think I know where this is going to go. I think that if we're going to do this, then we have no other option than to play a Guendouzi or a Mesut Ozil. I know it's not ideal. I'll probably go with Mesut Ozil, but then I suppose you could maybe push Joe Willock further forward into the attacking three and play Guendouzi next to Lucas Torreira. I don't know. I'm going to go with Mesut Ozil. It seems a little strange and a bit unbalanced, but I don't think we've got many options. If we're going to make this many changes, then this is what we have to do. Do I think that Mikel Arteta will make this many changes? Probably not. But this is what I would go with, bearing in mind we've got the cup final next week. And it's just as simple as that. So that's my 1 to 11. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you agree with that 1 to 11? Or would you make a few changes? And if so, what? Last game of the Premier League season. We know it's been a bad one. We know we've got to fix up and we've got a big summer ahead. But it's all about navigating this game, getting through it with no injuries. And then we can concentrate on the FA Cup final next weekend against Chelsea. So if you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash a like on this video. And I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.